Almost at the station.
Why would you say that?
I have a problem, clearly.
No, it's okay. We're just excited about today's
We
big
are.
discussion.
We are still, continuing our little excitement from last night. With what happened during the casual battles that took place, which were great fun. Like, let's be honest.
They were very great. They were amazing, actually. They were very nail biters. They were nail biters of episodes, battles for sure.
Nail biters of episodes. Yeah, there were episodes.
It was an episode of something, I suppose. So,
yeah. I think that counts. Like,
it was an episode of our series of videos that we did to get to affiliate. There we go.
Yeah,
and
there we
go. It was a nail biter.
In those videos, there were many turns that took place. Pokemon shown. Beautiful sprites.
It was beautiful.
Opinions were said.
And
words were spoken.
Plays were made.
Plays were indeed made.
Reads were made. There's good ones.
We don't need to. We could just rewrite Pride and Prejudice with, like, we Pokemon
totally
battles. Like the way the Raging Bolt gazed his eyes at my Urshifu.
Do you right? I'm going to admit something to you right now. Sometimes when I'm just like, I'm walking in and I'm thinking about VGC and stuff, and I'm imagining like they could make a sick anime out of VGC specifically, and I even think like, would you go as far as it not being like an anime like about Pokemon, but except for like an anime about VGC the way that we understand it now, but also the Pokemon are real, or it's in a simulation style situation. So like everyone goes to an academy and they play VGC, and like the Pokemon are like real.
Yeah.
But, like, do you know what I mean? Like the actual Pokemon battling isn't a game anymore. It's presented as a real thing, like in the real anime, except it's actually VGC.
Well, I do know what you mean, because like I've not watched any of the new Horizon stuff that's, currently going with the new main character. I don't know her name. All I know is that she's got a cat.
Cool.
Like, but there's that conversation of like, are we actually taking it seriously? Because of course, at the end of Ash's journey, I want to say Gary caught a Regidrago or something, and then like at the beginning of this series, apparently one of them catches a Galarian Moltres. So
really?
It's like, what? Are we supposed to be... I thought, like, legendaries were supposed to be taken seriously, but, like, if we're catching them as if they're nothing, then...
Well, there was that guy with a Heatran back ages ago, wasn't there?
Oh, the Darkrai guy as well.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I
think that there are some legendary Pokemon in the anime that they just treat as, like, there isn't actually just one of them. There's, like, loads of them. They're just incredibly rare, like Lugia. There's like a baby Lugia in the anime, isn't there?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I think that in the anime, they're not all one-of-a-kind Pokemon.
No. I mean, legendaries is very loose in the Pokemon universe, let's be honest.
Yeah, like, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, Marshallow's a legendary Pokemon. It's like a mythical, but like it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, even in the film, it doesn't do anything. It's just a bad guy for no reason. It's got like no
characteristic,
motivation or anything like that. So it's a bit.
He's basically, I want to be an idiot. I'm gonna be the most annoying thing in the world to you, Ash.
He was like, I'm gonna be a demon child. And I watched.
You told me to go
kids.
to bed at 7. It is now 8:30.
Yes, I was
Good luck.
See, children, this is what will happen. You'll get beaten up by a Ho-Oh.
Oh dear. Yeah. No, honestly, the anime is bonkers. Like, I'm surprised. Honestly, like, I mean, there's those rumors that keep circling around. Well, not rumors, but there's the talks from years and years ago where they were saying Ash was actually only supposed to be around till the end of Gen 1.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the fact that they were like, it's different generations. We want to focus on like different characters and all that.
Yeah. That would be cool if they had done that.
I think that would have been cool, because they actually released like concept drawings of what was going to happen at the end. So there was like an unfinished Japanese segment where it was supposed to. So basically, the whole Ash saga was supposed to finish after Mewtwo. Mewtwo was basically supposed to be his final boss.
Oh my god.
Like,
no, but like the ramifications of that are so
right?
horrific.
It's horrific, isn't it? Like, Mewtwo final boss for Ash. Ash beats Mewtwo like by himself because he's the main character and all of that jazz. And apparently there was supposed to be a snippet after the credits. So apparently Misty was supposed to confess to Ash, which this automatically sounds like a fanfic.
Wait, isn't this the plot of the musical?
Maybe. I don't know.
I
I've never really looked into that.
The musical, where I don't think that's canon.
No, I know what you're talking about. No, this is something else. So
where,
basically,
like, Mewtwo comes out for like a dance number.
Ash, beat me in this dance off, and I'll leave Earth alone.
and he killed it out there.
Kanto will be spared if you can do the splits.
He was stone cold at the end of that performance. He was on the floor.
Ash just stone cold stunners Mewtwo. Like, what? Mewtwo, what?
Mate, after Ash's performance against Mewtwo, not a dry eye in the house.
Exactly. Everyone's crying.
They were crying.
They're so full of joy. They're like, so thrilled for Ash. Ash holding up this weird Pokemon Championship belt. Like, Pokken Tournament. Like, this is lore for Pokken Tournament.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry. So apparently Ash was supposed to like confess with Misty that they like each other, because the end was drawn out as Misty's in the park with one of her sisters. They're having a picnic or such, and her daughter is wandering off, just doing things by herself around the park, and she bumps into a Pikachu. And the girl's like, "Oh, Pikachu, I found you," and it's actually Ash's Pikachu because he's holding Ash's hat. And they were playing hide and seek. So apparently the whole idea is, they settle down, but Ash is on another journey, which apparently is hints that he would cameo in Gold and Silver. Make of that what you will. I like our idea better, personally, like Ash versus Mewtwo WrestleMania, like level.
He's hitting it with a choke slam.
Like. Howard Finkel doing the entrance to Ash. Oh my god. Where he's just like making his way to the ring from Planet Town.
And in this corner,
Stone Cold Ash Ketchum.
He's hovering above the weights, above the scale, so we don't know how much he weighs. It's Mewtwo.
We don't do scales in Pokemon. Like, the Pokedex is a massive lie as it is. Charizard is what, 4'11"? Like, and in the anime he's easily 6 foot. Like, he's just I'm sure you are.
Well, if you think about it, right, you only really it seems standing next to Ash, and Ash is potentially only like 3 feet high.
Yeah,
he could be a small. He could be a short king like me.
Yeah, he could be. Yeah,
you never know.
I can relate.
He might be 3 foot tall like I am.
Don't diss my guy. Don't diss my bro. Don't diss Stone Cold Ash Ketchum.
Hey, he's a champion.
He's a champion, and you're not.
Damn.
Just Barrett's got the microphone. He's basically defending Ash Ketchum, and he's just like, he's a world champion. What are you? A bum.
What are you?
What are you? Huh? What? I want that. I want to see
Ash rap battle.
If we ever get this to a popular level, I really want the first fan art drawing to be Ash Ketchum giving Mewtwo a stunner. I want that as that as the first fan art, because then you've dug through this archive. Like, I want this. Oh, I want it so bad. Like, you have no idea. I would actually happily commission someone to do that at this point. I really would. Like, I just want to see it, just the stunner, and just everyone's like, "My God! My God!" Right. Anyway, welcome on in, everyone. Obviously, we have started a little bit late, and I do apologize about that. However, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to the 4th episode of the London Corviknights podcast with myself, I am Mac404, and my beautiful co-host, Barrett C9, who is a massive fan of Ash Ketchum, as we just
Apparently so, yeah.
The lore is deepening. How was your week, Barrett? How have you been doing?
Yeah, it's been okay. Been alright. Just been getting on with things around the house and such. Not really much to report as a development. But how about you? How about you? What's been going on?
Knackered.
Yeah.
So
from all the walking.
From all my walking. So if anyone didn't know, yesterday I went to a zoo with my other half. I thought we weren't going to be there for very long. We were there for pretty much the whole day, and then we got stuck in traffic. We were supposed to be driving back about 90-minute journey, and it ended up being like nearly 3 hours because of traffic and other roadworks and accidents that might have occurred along the route. So I literally got back about 10 minutes before we were supposed to start the viewer battle stream yesterday.
Oh, that's cutting it fine.
So I was cutting it fine yesterday. So yeah, I was running on adrenaline last night, and I got a crap night's sleep out of it.
When you just keep going like that,
you have to keep going
full day, and you just go, I'm gonna get back, and I immediately have to go and start doing this thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I mean, thank God we had viewer battles yesterday, because the adrenaline really kicked in. I'm not gonna lie. We are looking into currently trying to get it into a state next week where we can actually stream from the Switches. It is proving to be a little bit more difficult than I thought it was going to be, but we are doing our best to try and work around that and make it work. So, we'll give you an update if we can under Discord. Yeah, probably by the end of the week. We should also just quickly mention, thanks to you lot, obviously we are on the path to affiliate right now. With the Twitch channel, we just need to keep 3 viewers or higher, and we need to just stream for, I want to say, 4 more days. I think you mentioned, Barrett.
Yeah, I think we're on 3 out of 7. This is now 4 out of 7, so we have to do 3 more.
Okay, so this is 3 more after this. So obviously, if we keep the 3 or higher, we can basically reach affiliate by, ironically, our anniversary. Which is the 11th of May, which is hilarious because it's the day after my birthday. So double whammy. So if we could get affiliate by our anniversary, I'm pretty sure we could come up with something special for you all as a thank you. But we also are looking, of course, for a stream overlay designer as well, because I don't know if you've seen, it looks a bit basic around here.
I don't know what you're talking about. It looks kind of...
I did this in 10 minutes.
Look at that.
Look at that. 10-minute job, ladies and gentlemen.
You said it yesterday. Color scheme on point, right? What are we supposed to do? Just use the red from his eye? Actually,
I don't know.
We could use red. That is the only other color.
I could have done this whole thing in Comic Sans, Barrett. You have no idea what the power I had.
I'm not gonna lie. I think we should.
We should just Comic Sans everything.
We should claim it. Yeah. Comic Sans. Yeah.
Comic Sans Corviknight.
I would argue we should
Comic Corviknight.
We should change it right now.
Comic Corviknight San. just Corviknight San. Comic San.
Corviknight Sans. Yeah, it's a little bit sharper. He's a metal bird. It's a little bit sharper.
He's the edgy Comic Sans.
Yeah, edgy Comic Sans.
Edgy Comic Sans, as if that exists.
Comic Sans with a line through it.
With a line through it. But yes, we have a fair few things to talk about tonight. We've got some catch-up things from the past week that Barrett's got for us. And then we've got our weekly question, this roundtable discussion, question of what is the worst regional form Pokemon? And then we've got a couple of viewer battles as well as Pokemon of the week as well. And then we'll probably just have a quick discussion about what we're planning to do next week as well. So, Barrett, I don't know if you want to kick things off and let me know if you want me to start sharing the display.
So what I've got here is obviously if you attended our last live stream, well, not our last live stream actually because we had the bonus one, but the last podcast episode live stream, we did a little talking about Reg G and some of our predictions for it. We did a tier list that was very based in every single way.
Yes, there was nothing wrong with it at all.
No, in fact, we were actually so on point with the meta that while we were talking about it, a prediction that we had made for the future of the meta actually came true immediately. So,
Forgot about that.
To be fair, we called it, right?
Right.
At the beginning, the first thing was Calyrex was everywhere. At the end of the podcast, I said Calyrex is going to fizzle out. It won't be as popular. Literally at the end of the podcast, the tournament finished, and that tournament was, I think, the White League tournament. I recall.
Oh,
or
I know what you're talking. I can't remember 100% what it was.
Let me have a look.
I think White League happens on a Wednesday, Thursday night.
Oh yeah, it was. Was it? Oh, it wasn't Victory Road.
Was it just a random?
Yeah, I think it was. Just
I think it was a random tour.
Well, we found out about it from, I think it was Simipour. So
yeah, Simipour. Shout out to Simipour for telling us. Like, literally, Simipour came in, just told us like what happened, and we were like, "Oh,
yeah." So
interesting. Is this the one with the Pelipper Cali Ice?
Yes,
image?
At the very top.
Yes, yeah, no worries.
And
let me.
Wait, is it Ogerpon there? But I think that could be Ogerpon Wellspring. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no,
Limitless.
Yeah, Limitless doesn't have the.
Nice. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
So yeah, we looked at the whole top 8. The whole list here, and not one Cali Shadow. So. 0.1 to us, guys. We called it. Cali Shadow fell off immediately.
I really like the fact that there's a Iron Bundle, Iron Valiant Miraidon team here, because I kept joking, being like, all of its teammates, the worst teammates Miraidon has is ironically the future Paradox Mons, but obviously someone is quoting me wrong. They've made it so it's obviously that. Also, shout out Umbreon here as well. Like, that's
pretty epic, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool to see an Umbreon there. Against all of this stuff with a Koraidon team. That's actually looking quite fresh. I quite like the look of that. Oh no, it is. Okay, right. So that Ogerpon is normal Ogerpon. Because look,
really?
Wellspring's there. Okay, yeah, so that's just grass Ogerpon.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty crazy. I like that.
Nice. Got Eternatus. I mean, we did say Eternatus could do stuff.
Yes.
We said it could do stuff.
We were predicting that it was going to have best friends with Ruchen. But here its best friend is Fluttermane, which, to be fair, most people's best friend at the moment seems to be a Fluttermane. So we shouldn't exactly be surprised there.
Yeah.
Oh, bless it. But
pretty cool stuff.
Very cool stuff. Like, I quite like also the Lunala here as well, which is cool with the Zamazenta. Like, I mean, Pelipper's usage has definitely gone up this regulation. I think Pelipper could be a dark horse. Or a dark bird, if you will, towards maybe the latter stages of this regulation. Who knows? We could see a Pelipper do quite well in Worlds. Like, obviously, when we come around to predicting maybe dark horses for Worlds, I might have to put Pelipper on my list. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I mean, we did get that really interesting endgame scenario in our stream match yesterday.
Oh, we did.
Where Tiger, we got to this point where we realized, wait a minute, he's got a 1 HP Sesh Pelipper in the back. It was on the 1 HP, and they had Calyrex Ice, and it was like you just knew the Calyrex Ice couldn't do anything after that. It was just brilliant. It was still very well played by their opponent to try and play that mind game there. But yeah, that was really cool to see that happen. I hadn't realized that it had that kind of utility into Calyrex Ice until that moment, and I was like, "Oh, I see why it's so good now."
Obviously, again, shout out to everyone who played last night. If you did miss last night, I believe the vlog is still on the Twitch channel if you did want to check that out after the podcast. But also, we are planning to upload it straight onto our YouTube channel as well, so you can watch it in your leisure, if you will, at any point in time. But yes, no, that's a fascinating little top 8 with Calyrex, because I think we discussed as well, or we mentioned that there was 2 that got top cut in Victory Road over the weekend. Calyrex Shadow Riders, I should say. And like, I want to say like none in the trainer school, from what Dread Mambo was saying. Like, Calyrex Shadow Rider is not as successful as everyone thought it was going to be right away.
Yeah, I think there was a post here by Adir. I'm not quite sure. Wellspring Mask. I'm not familiar with them, but someone posted it in our show notes. I think this might be what you're talking about. Didn't make top 8 in the tour there either.
Yes.
But Calyrex Ice did, and you got Zamazenta and Zacian. Pretty interesting.
It's like Sword and Shield never went away.
I love it. I love it.
But I guess what I'm wanting to talk about, and I think you wanted to talk about it as well, is the fact that during a Regulation G battle as well, we saw Tyranitar winning a tour, which I really like that. I think Tyranitar, it could do things, basically. I think we should give Tyranitar a bit more credit, is basically what I'm saying. However, I do like the fact that some of these are just pasted over others, so you can clearly see... I do apologize. This was not obviously us. Like, we didn't do this. This is the Wide League Saturday Night Rumble that they do. Whoever edited this just edited the winning team over some other previous format. So you see a lot of Iron Hands being basically like Smeargle and Urshifu who grew arms.
And as you can see, ironically, all the people who placed exactly the same as they did before. So really pretty cool, actually. Really interesting.
Well done for finishing first again. Like,
I mean,
oh,
again, that's pretty.
What a coincidence!
What
a coinky dink!
To clarify, I'm only joking. This was the Wide League, and they had 75 players. Actually, it says at the top of the.
Yeah, so there's 75 players here. This is just the top 8. Shout out to the fusion of Regieleki and Grimmsnarl, which is absolutely terrifying.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about Regisnarl.
Regisnarl. Oh, I like that name. Oh my goodness, Dark type Regisnarl.
Yeah.
Yes.
It does not learn Snarl.
It does not learn Snarl. Only learns Foul Play.
It's not called Regisnarl in Japanese. It's called Reggie Evil.
Yes. Oh yes. Yeah. Everything in Japanese is Dark type is evil.
Yeah.
Chenpao evil. No.
But they have to write it Regevil or.
Yes, it has to be Regevil.
People won't get it right. Yeah.
But because you don't say Reggie Ice, do you? You just say Reg Ice.
I'm not gonna lie, Regevil is actually a really good name.
Store that in the bag. We'll have a word with Game Freak.
It's almost like medieval. It's medieval, and then you've got Regevil. I think that's pretty cool, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Barrett's like, oh. But yes, honestly, I do like this team. I like this team a lot, actually. I think Tyranitar is a solid pick. Like, considering in the sand as well, it gets a special defense boost. I haven't seen the team properly, so I don't know what terror it's using or what potentially moves. I heavily doubt it's flying type Tyranitar.
No.
Why would you do that? I think in this format as well, I don't think that's a good idea. But yeah, I think Tyranitar is very much going to be an interesting pick going forward. So do be on the lookout for that, ladies and gentlemen. I can't remember what the next one we were going to talk about was. Should we talk about Joe's Cali video?
Yeah, let's go. It's just so funny.
This is hilarious. I am going to mute it though, just because I don't know whether we'll get done for copyright or anything like that.
I think the beginning would be fine, but
Yeah.
I don't know how loud it will be if you do play it. But it's just a description at the beginning followed by what happens immediately. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. No worries. I'm gonna full screen this, and hopefully that displays in the stream. I'm just gonna. Oh yes, it does. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously this is Joe Ugata. You might know him as Joe UX9. Very talented player. Multiple world invites. It's basically, I think, a matter of when, not if, with Joe, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, sorry, I just accidentally destroyed the world. But
no.
It's fine.
But this was a funny interaction that we spotted on Twitter over the weekend, so I hope you guys can enjoy it.
As much as we joke about Calyrex, I do think it is an inherently, not super unfair Pokemon. It still requires skill for you to use. You can't just, act like a bot and expect to win. You know what I mean?
It's so funny.
The time is between.
It's good. It's really good, but yeah. Wait, what? Dude, this person's psychotic. What are they doing? What?
Absolute mental.
It's so brilliant because it's so perfectly timed.
What the was that?
So funny. We apologize for the little swear at the end, but honestly, we felt like that would need to be shared because that was honestly just so funny.
So funny.
Just imagine, being Yeah, why would you do that? Like, honestly, why would, of all the things like you could do with that lead, you just decide, no, I'm gonna let Callie kill me. Like, I'm just gonna let Calyrex have its way. Like, honestly, made me. Oh, we saw it and it absolutely just made us laugh our heads off. Like, I literally was like, Barrett needs to see this, and Barrett shared it first, so I was like, oh.
It's just the fact that he is specifically talking about how you can't just click buttons, and then it's like a massive pause of silence for, and I was like,
it's an uncomfortable amount of silence.
Why is the video still going?
I love it. He said, yeah, because he literally says like it does require a bit of skill, and he literally just sits there and he's like. He just witnesses his opponent basically prove his point.
Like, I've just realised the reason he's on that screen is to pick his moves.
Yeah.
So that you can't tell what he's picking, and he's talking about it requires skill and everything like that, and he's just looking Terra, Ghost, Asperage.
he just clicked it. He just clicked.
Gone.
Oh, honestly, so funny. So funny. Great clip. Do follow Joseph Yugata if you're not already. Oh my god. Absolute. Oh, yeah. Just it's the fact he says it and then it like the opponent does the opposite of what he's trying to prove.
Exactly.
Like, and it's like you mentioned, the uncomfortable amount of silence in between him picking the moves and then the moves actually happening was just it's just him just staring into the abyss.
It's just like, just you know that the play that he's actually making is probably really good, right? He's thinking if I Terra Ghost, I'll live Shadow Ball, the double KO, but I'll be on Sash. Hopefully, I'll knock out the Tornadus. Tornadus actually might live if it's like max special defense. But he's going, this is a risk worth taking. So
he just
he's doing
put
it
a good comment in the Twitch chat. It covers for the Terra Fairy on the Flutter 2 with Slash Bomb on the Moongus.
It is, funnily enough,
but it's literally
really
you sort of look at it and you're just thinking, okay, something literally anything other than that play is going to happen.
At least he thinks
like, but no, it's literally that play that happens, and everyone's like, what?
Because they've going, Joe's gone like, there's no point sporing because. They could hit Taunt. They've got so many options. They've got so many options. Like, one of the things they're going to Taunt and they're going to Terra Fairy. They're going to protect Tailwind. They're going to Tailwind Shadow Ball. None of those was just Bleak Windstorm. Probably just Bleak Windstorm and Shadow Ball, right? And he didn't get to do any of them because none of those.
No, but they literally had any other choice, and the choice that they went for was anyway.
I just realised my comment is there.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking, like, I swear you commented on this.
Yeah,
like, but so funny, absolute funny as hell. I think the only other thing we wanted to talk about briefly before we go into our main discussion is something that I felt. Well, I'm not even American, and I wasn't even competing for NAIC. Like, I never think about competing for NAIC because of the amount of money it involves. But the signing up of NAIC and the actual registration process of NAIC is the worst I've ever seen. I love the fact that they use like proper planning tools for this. And it's like, what?
They were like, VGC people love flowcharts.
Yeah, VGC people love flowcharts. I know you do. I know you do. You can't admit it in the chat right now, everyone. Admit it in the chat right now. I love flowcharts. I want to see you all commenting. Okay, I'll do it first. Like, I love flowcharts. So there you go. See, I've admitted it. I'm a better person now for admitting that. You guys can do the same.
We as a community
can admit that we love flowcharts.
Yeah.
But this is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is so unnecessarily like but then it kind of brings up the conversation, doesn't it, of should we be looking at something other than RK9?
What is it that they do badly? Because I feel like everything they put out something recently saying like would you rather that the tournaments like lose money or there are tournaments or something like that, and it created a bit of a discussion, but the people seem to be having a bit of a problem with RK9 in general.
So my problem with RK9 is just how archaic the system feels. Actually, to be fair, guys in the chat, if you want to share your RK9 stories, please feel free to. Because this one, I'm going to be ranting for a little bit here. Last year, I wanted to go to Liverpool. So I went to Liverpool this year, but I'm talking 2023. I wanted to go to Liverpool Regional. The system is, they can't handle the amount of people who want to sign up for these events. Like, it just can't. There is absolutely no way the system can handle the amount of people wanting to do it. Because, of course, Pokemon in the past wanted to prioritize events for those specific nations. So, for example, with Liverpool, they've said in the past, like, well, we kind of want to we want it to be more for the Europeans and the UK lot because, of course, it's their sort of event. Whereas, like, obviously, like, we see a lot of, and obviously this is no judgment of people who actually sign up, but we see quite a lot of people come over from America, from Asia to come and compete in these regionals. Which Pokemon have stated in the past, it's not really designed for them because they've got their own regionals. You know, America has quite a lot of regionals, and I think this is still a problem with the system as a whole, but also like the sort of ideology of Pokemon, where, you know, yes, they're giving us quite a lot of regionals and they're giving us quite a lot of nationals now, and obviously, you know, the big internationals. But I think we're still in that phase where we need more people to do locals. There is a lot of people, like with the booming popularity of WolfClick on YouTube, Cybertron's videos as well. We're seeing the Pokemon streams are obviously doing really well on Twitch and YouTube as well. You know, we are still in this phase where we're still trying to encourage businesses to accept, you know, VGC into their doors and host tournaments for them. Because, of course, it's easier for the TCG lot because it's just cards. Like, you just need a table and some cards, and there you go. There's your event. Whereas, of course, here, you have to use electricity. Like, you have to set up LAN stuff, all of that jazz. But, like, I feel like, you know, that's why we're seeing these problems, is because RK9 and Pokemon in the past have always specified, you know, these are supposed to be used for these sort of these amount of people, but because I would come in, the system can't handle it because there's too many people trying to participate in these sort of things, and like, yeah, it will lag, it will cause chaos. And I was sitting in a queue trying to get my Liverpool ticket last year, and I sat there for about 10 minutes before I realized it sold out.
Oh,
like, because
that's such a horrible feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, and it happened again this year. I mean, luckily I still managed to get it, but KD in the chat has stated as well, EUIC this year, Arcane was so laggy to even load the pairings. It sometimes took over 5 minutes just to load the site. It is bad. Arcane9 do need to update their servers or update its system so it can handle more people. Because you got to remember, bear in mind, this is public. This is public information. So the people who are participating, trying to find out who they're pairing as, has to fight their way through all the people who are watching on Twitch and YouTube who want to see the pairings for themselves to see who's their favorite people fighting against next. So it doesn't work in that sense to me. Like, you can easily just copy the information that you have from pairings specifically for the competitors and then just put it on another public domain for people who want to look at it and view it. It's not difficult. Just create a separate quick easy site for viewers to actually look and see how people are doing, and then leave the competitors to have their own little site so they can quickly find the information of who they're fighting against.
Yeah, that would just make a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Why they can't handle like the amount of people that would be visiting their site. It's just like, it's such a problem of the past. Like, we shouldn't be worrying about like server lag in, you know, this isn't a festival, you know, we're talking about a competitive Pokemon event where like we barely get less than 1,000 people, you know, you know, it's not, this isn't like, you know, Windows 95. I don't do that kind of thing, so I can't really talk about it. It seems like, from what I've heard from other podcasts that I've heard them discuss this topic, actually, it sounds like, from what I've gathered from that they're really trying to shift the blame onto, well, sorry that you can't get your ticket, you know, you can't register for USC just because it's too popular and there aren't enough places. It's like, well, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about not being able to register because the site's lagging out so bad that all the positions are gone before I can even get onto the website.
Yeah,
that's not the same.
That's not the same argument. That's
not giving it everyone equal access to the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
No, 100%. Completely fair, yeah.
100%. The argument is not about the amount of places that are on offer. The argument is the fact that your servers are out of date, and the experience of the player is then hindered because they cannot focus properly because they're too busy trying to find out who there is. And bearing in mind as well, when the round starts and you're not at your table, there's a timer that goes off. Like, so if you're not there for like 10 minutes, you lose game 1. Like,
yeah.
And then you lose game 2 if you don't turn up for 20 minutes and you immediately lose the match. So if you're still trying to figure out what the hell you're supposed to be doing, because bear in mind as well, when I turned up to Liverpool, no one said a thing about like how the day will go. So I had so many people come up to me. Basically my first round opponent, bless his soul, it was his first event as well. He had no idea what he was doing. He just saw the table and he was like, oh, okay, I think I'm battling you. And I was like, yeah. Do you know how the day goes? He was like, absolutely not. So literally, I spent the first 10 minutes explaining to him how day 1 of a regional will happen. Because no one had told him. Like, Pokemon didn't even tell him. Like, RK9 doesn't tell him. So I said, oh, basically, this is... Because he thought it was a knockout system. Like, he thought it was basically single elimination.
Wow.
So I was like, dude, if it was single elimination, we'll be here all freaking week. Like...
Well, it would. They used to do it like that. Back in like
years and years ago, yeah.
The precursor to like modern VGC, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were doing like best of 1 knockout. That's it. You lose the match, but you don't go on. That's just mad, isn't it?
No, it's crazy. And like you mentioned, it's just the argument isn't about the lack of placements, because obviously that conversation is more revolving around the size of the venue and how much we can host before we have to worry about safety concerns. Because of course, like, you know, as someone, ironically, I have a background in both security and computers. Like, like as someone who's worked for a football stadium, you know, whenever we do events, we only allow certain amounts of people to turn up based on the number of staff we have available. So it would be a similar case for venues like the Excel Center, who hosted EUIC. You know, how many staff can we have at every point in time? Like, and that would determine how much placements we would have. Obviously, the number would be higher because it's an international tournament. It is crazy to think that we are still using RK9 in this sort of sense. I personally hope they do improve it. Sorry, I've just seen Kai's comment as well, being that EUIC was my first big event, and I didn't realize how fast it was. Signing up was simple enough, but I missed the first wave and waited till people didn't pay for their tickets to try again, which I didn't get in. I got the second wave in though. Yeah, that's another point, isn't it? It's the fact that, you know, they have to do it. Well, obviously, like, most people do it in waves, but it's the fact that, because I was looking at the Liverpool regional quite regularly, actually, because I think the number available was about 1,000. They only ever reached about 950, and that was literally the day before the event. For, like, a good few weeks before the event, it was loitering between 700 and 800. So, like, a lot of people weren't even thinking, like, oh, this might be worth my time. Like, and I reckon that might be because of the RK9 system being so poor. Yeah. It was like, am I actually going to get a ticket? I'm like, oh, should I just not bother?
Yeah,
like,
that's such a shame.
It's crazy. Yo, Conscious, hello, how you doing? When I used to play MTG, Magic the Gathering, I don't know if there was, but just from my experience, like, there wasn't, and just, I felt so sorry for my first round opponent, because you just absolutely had no clue.
I wouldn't have a clue what I would be doing, because I still haven't attended an in-person event at all, so, like, yeah, I would have no idea.
Oh, yeah, hopefully that will change in the future, because I think you would have great fun.
Oh, yeah, I really want to. It's just...
Like, it is... Life. It's time and money, and, yeah, like, we're adults, and adulting is hard. But, like, yeah, because my first round opponent, which, by the way, shout out quickly, because he basically turned up with a freaking fan club, like, standing behind him. Bless him. He had no idea what was going on, but he basically had a fan club. Someone had literally drawn him with his favorite Pokemon on a piece of A4 paper, and then another person had the person's name on a piece of paper. They were all wearing similar jackets, and I literally thought as though, like, you know, great, if I win, I'm going to look like an ass.
Yeah,
but if I lose...
you look like the bad guy now.
Yeah, I'm going to look like the bad guy either way. Like, I kind of realized as soon as I won 2-0, I was like, oh, great, I'm 1-0. Fantastic. Great. Perfect start to the day. And then in the back of my mind, oh no, I won 2-0.
Yeah, you turn around after you win, you give the guy the GG, he turns around and goes, sorry, kids, looks like we're not going to win the tournament.
Looks
no
like we're not
dinner for us.
Looks like we're gonna have to have soup for dinner tonight.
Yeah, and they're like, no, Dad, not soup again.
Not soup again.
We were hinging all our hopes on this, and then they see you, and they're like, it was because of him.
You mean Iron Crown player.
Oh yeah.
I was using
He
Iron
didn't
Crown.
just get me, kids. He got me good.
You were just the stronger trainer.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm thoroughly embarrassed.
Smell you later.
yeah. You're just like no.
Just gets in a Corvette and drives off. Like, oh dear. But no, should have stopped him and taken his fans. No, you're there now, my fans.
Yeah.
You are now mine. No, he was a really sweet kid. Shout out to I think his name was Luke. I do apologize if that was not the case, but I did tell him to come join us in the London Corviknights. So hopefully he has or will do in the future. You know, feel the wrath of the crown. Very much so. I mean, to be fair, I was shocked because he was using Ogie Dogie before Ogie dogie was cool.
There you go.
So I mean,
That's
it's still lost to expanding force, but like, oops.
Kai's also mentioned here one thing about RK9 on social media for the EU and NA tickets should be given at least a chance to change the right game just in case. Yeah, especially if there's
Yes,
you know, a one for one thing. But the fact that they'd have to implement some form of thing like that is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I heard a story about this actually. A ticket to play VGC, and it was actually a TCG ticket. He forfeited round 1 because he obviously didn't have a deck, but he called his mate up who lived nearby, who was a big card collector, and he said, look, can you stop by and I'll just pick some cards out, like I'll just find something on the internet for a deck. Can you come around with the cards and I'll just see if I can? And he came around with the cards. They made a deck in like 20 minutes. And then he finished the day on he actually won a few games before the end of the day. Bearing in mind, he had never played a TCG game beforehand. Like,
damn.
Which I thought was quite funny. Like, I'm here to play VGC. No, you're here to play TCG. Oh, okay. I forfeit round 1. I need to get some cards. Buddy, can you help? Oh, yeah, sure. I'll turn up. Here, let's make a deck quick. And I win.
That is, I'd be pretty impressed, but I'd almost wonder if that's almost quite a good way of getting into playing the TCG. Just like
just
having such a limited amount of information that someone gives you a deck and just says, play it like this. If you like, if they know you like how you play VGC, maybe they can figure out you'd like to play something TCG. In fact, I had a conversation recently for a video I'm making with someone who said they believe that the Pokemon VGC is more like a card game than any other esport, and I think I agree.
Yeah.
It is quite card game like, isn't it? There's pieces at play, they pivot in and out. You have things on the field. You can now even bring back pieces from like the grave with like revival blessings. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's that is effectively what it is. A fainted Pokemon is like now, you know, disposed of in some space that you can't access anymore. That's like effectively the graveyard, and you can bring them back. You could do that in other means, I suppose, but like, you know, I mean, like,
it's not as dramatic though, is it?
Yeah, it's
like,
not. No, and we have like field effects, or like terrain, weather is like field effects.
Summon.
You know, like it's quite card game like, I suppose. You know?
See.
But,
yeah, we just need like a Yu-Gi-Oh style anime for Pokemon, and then we're there. You know.
Yeah.
Just with I actually summoned Rillaboom, and with its special effect, the grassy terrain is now on the field, which revives my points every turn.
Now, fuse that with epic anime showdown type videos where, like, you know, like where they're playing, and it's like all in the head, and it's pretty much what I was talking about earlier about how VGC anime should be a thing where they in their internal dialogue is thinking about the play they're about to make, while like all the Pokemon are like slow motion in the middle of the last move that they made, and then they have to like lock in their decisions.
Yes.
For what they do, and then it executes, and then they go like,
I hope you're ready, Kaiba. I've just locked in my moves for this turn.
Yeah, and and then like it executes, and they're like, Rillaboom, use Grassy Guard, and they're like, Mienshao, quick guard, and you're like, no, and you see it play out with like,
oh my god,
Grassy Guard coming in, and then Mienshao like slow mo like lifts the quick guard, and then like it blocks the Grassy Glide, and then their like Calyrex goes for like
Astral Barrage,
and it hits both of them and knocks it out, and it gets like a massive boost, and like the other trainer's got like a mental link with Calyrex.
Okay, I'm gonna play you a scene in my head right now that I've literally just had. Right, it's you versus like Dreadmamba or something. You've just got double protect, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, whoa, if I didn't go for the double protect there, I would have actually lost both my Pokemon because of how strong the Calyrex is. And Dreadmambo's like, I can't believe he double protected. Like, he actually knew that I only had one turn of Tailwind left, and he scouted me. No. And there's just me on the side, being like, I can't believe Barrett knew the plan.
No, here's how it really goes.
I might have to draw a comic for this. Oh, Kai, please.
Yeah. If you got, here's how it goes, right? In my mind, I'm like, well, I've made it. It's the last turn of Trick Room. Mumbo's Calyrex Ice is sitting on the field.
The Ursaluna as well.
And I'm like, oh, I've already taken out Ursaluna.
Oh, you've taken him out. Okay, okay.
Right, it's the end game, right? And I go, right, it's finally done. I'm standing there. We're beaten and battered, and I go, it's fine though, because all we have to do is double protect on the last turn of Trick Room, and we're going to be cool. I'm standing there trying to reassure the lads who are there.
Lads.
Very worn out, while Calyrex is buffed up on like +2. Like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Calyrex's horse is like, you can see the veins popping out.
I'm like, look, they've busted this guy's on Mimikyu, right? We double protect this turn, and then next turn we've got it, guys. We'll just double the Mimikyu. They won't get the Trick Room up, and we'll be fine. And then I go, but double protect, guys, and they both protect, and then Dreadmambo snarkly laughs.
Oh.
And I'm like, huh, what do you think we're gonna try and act like this was your plan all along? And he goes, well, actually, Barrett,
you fell for my trap.
Mimikyu, Trick Room, Calyrex, Trick Room, and it goes up for another 5 turns, and I'm like, yeah.
Yes,
the game with
the thing is as well is that
proc and a double glacial lance into my freaking 2 guys wins the game.
Thing is as well, you've got to remember it's anime, so like Dreadmambo would pretend to look shocked, and then literally it would be like a shadow screen focus up on his mouth as it's a little smirk appears, right? And then after that double Trick Room would happen, right, it would cut away to various other side characters in the audience, and they would all say the same thing. It would be like, I can't believe Dreadmambo knew Barrett was going to double protect. I can't believe Barrett double protected, so he went for the Trick Room. I can't believe that.
It flashes to you, and you're there. A bold move for sure.
I can't believe that turn actually happened.
You're like, and like you've got like Ed in the background, or like,
oh yeah, no, oh no, no. All of us have like spiritual Pokemon just hovering behind us, right? So it's like, we've all got spiritual Pokemon. like just Corviknights, just it's me being like, yes, Corviknight, I know this was a bold play. And Corviknight's like,
you're like, easy, Corviknight.
Would supportive dad be there from Sword and Shield? Oh yeah, no, it would specifically be Barrett's dad.
Yeah,
like,
my supportive dad.
So it sounds like Beyblade now.
Like, no,
we're mixing Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Beyblade.
Exactly, that's what it is.
The best of all worlds.
Cold Flame's there. He's like running the calcs on the laptop. Like,
yes,
he's just like, oh no. If he activates weakness policy right now, he'll be at +4. There'll be nothing that Incineroar will be able to do. Okay, for sure.
And then basically we could add in a bit of Dragon Ball in there by saying if someone uses Bulk Up or Nasty Plot, it's just 5 minutes of screaming. Like,
exactly.
Urshifu's bulking up? That's impossible. Which village would you be from, Barrett?
Oh, well, if this is in my mind, this is set in Galar.
The Galarian region.
It's like, it's me and Alex from, what's the first town called?
Oh,
I don't remember. Maybe we can't come from there because that's too base.
Well, actually, ironically, I live close to the inspiration for Circhester, so
we can come from Circhester.
Yeah, Circhester is apparently Chichester.
You come from Circhester, and I come from, where's the place where?
Wedgehurst is the beginning place.
What's the? Where
the Leaf Village.
the seaside place.
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head.
That place.
Unless you're from the Isle of Armor.
Which?
Are you from the Isle of Armor?
I could be. No, I'm not from the Isle of Armor, but my grandparents do live there. So.
Holbury.
Holbury. Yes, I come from Holbury. And
Hidden Water Village.
You come from Chichester.
Yeah. No, the Circhester. Yep.
Circhester. Yeah, and we meet in Motorstoke for the VGC school.
Yes. And ironically, our first meet would be, who are you? No, I asked that question, who are you? And then Danny walks past and you're like, who is she? And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't care.
And then there we go. That's the three main. That's the characters.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
That's how Barrett's and Danny's like, you know, but there'll have to be a shipping name, obviously. Oh yeah, there'll be a delayed dubbed as well. It'll be like a year behind the actual sub.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
as intended.
yes. Oh my god. Yeah, we could go for this for hours, honestly. Like, it'd be freaking crazy. But we do need to move on.
We should probably talk about the actual.
Yeah, we should talk about the actual main
topic
point of the episode tonight, shouldn't we? So the actual point of the conversation tonight was a roundtable discussion related to Pokemon who we believe, or well, I should say we believe, but also you believe to be the worst form in terms of regional form. We did have a form for this in the Discord, which was we got 4 replies. So I think we should just do what we did with the first discussion and just say who we fought and then what others fought. Oh, sorry, I should also add we got a couple of replies on Twitter.
Oh, really?
Yes. I quickly asked the question earlier today, and a couple of people did respond. Lynx and Luminary. We will add them in afterwards. And then, I don't know, we'll have a quick discussion to see who could be right and who could be wrong. But if we're undecided, we can just always do what we do best and ask the Discord.
Yes. And we'll be putting the poll up at the end of what these 4 suggestions are, I suppose. And we could add in all of the other ones that you guys have suggested as well, because there was only 4. We got 4 last time, but I think the 4 that we got last time were like
they were
correct. They were
banging
the correct
choices,
4, weren't they? They were like literally the 4 that everyone would have picked.
Yeah,
like,
they were banging choices. This gives us a bit more like freedom, I feel, because like it's less data heavy and more opinionated, which I think which should be quite interesting to say the least. So I don't know if you want to go first or if you wanted me to go first on our picks.
Well, I was just going to say quickly, I did ask the question in the Twitch chat at the beginning of the stream, and we did get a response from Kai, who said the worst one for them.
Alolan Raticate.
Alolan Raticate, yeah.
I completely forgot about that thing.
Yeah, so that was one of the OGs of regional forms.
I think it is ugly, isn't it?
That's regular, and then we got the
there you go. Look at it.
Look at it. It is very squishy. I would like to cuddle it, but not if it was real.
It's very squishy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Like, honestly, yeah, I completely forgot this thing exists.
Look how bad it is.
Well, let's go for it, right? Dark normal type, 4 times weak to fighting. Oh, good. It can stop ghost types and psychic types. That's nice. Like, so does every other dark type Pokemon now. Its abilities, if I remember correctly, aren't even that great. Gluttony, Hustle, Thick Fat. Raticate doesn't really benefit from that.
It doesn't even get gut. Like, the original one gets guts.
The original one gets guts. This does not. What's its stat total?
Gluttony.
What's the stats like?
I think they're poor.
Oh my lord, look at that. That's so bad. 70, oh my god.
Attack.
Its highest is 77 speed, and it cannot do anything to benefit that.
80 special defense is a stat.
Oh yeah, sorry, I missed the 80. I apologize. Like,
super glad that they haven't wasted too many stats in special attack. It's not like you want that snarl to hit good.
Awful poke. Yeah. Oh my god, I completely forgot. Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, its shiny is horrible. Your conscience is right. The shiny of this is absolutely awful. Yeah. It becomes slower because it's fatter. Something I can relate to.
No, man's looking good.
I'm a Snorlax in a previous life. But honestly, yeah, I completely forgot about Alolan Raticate. Honestly, good pick. Good pick.
I like that.
Because not only did we forget about it, so it's not memorable at all.
Do you want to know what the most recent games that you can have in Alolan Raticate are?
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Yeah.
Hey, wow. Yeah.
It's not in Scarlet and Violet.
No, it's not.
It wasn't even in the main. Oh, it was in Sword and Shield. It was in Sword and Shield.
Oh, what? It's a transfer only? Or could you catch it?
Raticate has no egg moves.
I don't think it's got any egg moves.
That's so weird. It doesn't learn any TRs.
Yeah, it's only in... Oh my god, what a joke this Pokemon...
What?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
So base Raticate is in Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. Alolan is literally only available in Let's Go on the Switch.
Ridiculous.
What an awful Pokemon. Kai, thank you for bringing that up, actually, because, yeah, I completely forgot about this awful looking thing. Oh, what a start, actually, yeah. My word.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
So, Mega Raticate went. Don't do that. Don't encourage them.
None of that.
Don't encourage them. Right, so did you want to share yours, or you were right with me sharing mine?
Oh, yeah, you go for it now if you'd like.
Okay, right. So my pick, and I actually feel a little bit underwhelmed here because of our Raticate friend now. My pick was, believe it or not, Alolan Stunfisk. Shocking, I know, considering I spent most of last episode complaining about this thing. It does nothing. It can't do anything. Its ability changes its typing depending on the terrain. So it doesn't even get stab boost anymore, from what I remember.
Hey Alex, take a look at that. Take a look at that special unique move it gets. What type is that move, Alex?
Oh no, I forgot about its unique move. Where is it?
It's got an interesting and unique move.
Oh, the Snap Trap, being a grass type.
Being a grass type move.
Yeah, it can't even get stab on its signature move. Its move pool is very underwhelming. Its stats, from what I remember, is very underwhelming. For it being a ground steel type as well, it's so bad. I really, really despise it, wasting a ground steel type. Like, we could have got a regional Steelix, right?
Yeah.
We could have got a regional Steelix and Sword and Shield, which I think would have been incredible, right?
Yeah.
But instead, we've got this mess. I didn't actually realize base Stunfisk, it gets 32 speed as well, so it's quite slow anyway. But it literally can't do anything. It can't tank, it can't support, it can't attack. There is nothing worthwhile about Galarian Stunfisk, and it's a rabbit shiny. Its shiny is literally, oh, what if it was original Stunfisk?
I don't hate that idea, but that is particularly bad. That does look trash.
Also, yeah, your conscience is completely right. Everyone, all the NPCs and AI took Galarian Stunfisk on the Dynamax Adventures.
Yeah.
Did nothing. Like, it can't do it because it can't do anything. It's got nothing that helps it. It can't buff it. It can't boost itself. Like, it can't protect itself. It's such a waste of a Pokemon. Oh my goodness.
So if I were going to play devil's advocate, like last time I tried to debate a little bit about why they wouldn't be champions. So this time I'll try and debate why I think that Stunfisk is actually a good regional form, and the only thing I think I can say, Galarian Stunfisk is actually doing its perfect job of being a Stunfisk, which is that it is completely rubbish and useless and is the worst Pokemon. This is just a regional version of
the useless,
worst, most useless Pokemon. One of them has to beat it. They've made Stunfisk, and then they were trying to, to settle the debate of what the worst form is, they've made this Pokemon.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to argue isn't that it should win because of that. I'm saying that it does its job perfectly because of that. So,
but it's
that makes sense.
But it's literally like, this is such a waste of design, and this is such a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, I do agree with your conscience. Like, do Pokemon just create these Pokemon just to troll people? Like, in thinking, because it doesn't even add anything to the Galarian sort of lore. It's like, oh, you find it in a mine and can trap your leg. It's just like, okay.
Well, it's an interesting take on a bear trap Pokemon, isn't it? Because Stunfisk is just like if you were going to make Stunfisk into anything, it's quite an interesting one, because it's the whole point of Stunfisk is it's like a fish that lays in the mud and it can electrify you if you stand on it or something. So it being a bear trap is really cool.
I feel like we could do that with. I feel like that could benefit from other Pokemon though. Like, other Pokemon could probably turn into a bear trap. I mean, I don't know, turn Klefki into a trapping Pokemon.
They could have just made a bear trap Pokemon, I think, and it would have been kind of cool. But I think that people would have been, someone out there, some weird Stunfisk person would have been all like, they could have just made this a Stunfisk Galarian form.
Honestly,
they made this up.
Honestly, after this, like, if anyone does actually at me, like at I am Mac404 on Twitter, I am iMac404. If you at me and you defend Galarian Stunfisk, in honest opinion, I will take this back. If you can honestly defend Galarian Stunfisk and tell me that actually it's not a bad Pokemon, I will put my hand up and say, okay, right, I'll take it back. But I don't think anyone would. No one would. No one would be like, Stunfisk is my boy. Galarian Stunfisk is my boy.
No.
Like, no one would. Like, absolutely no one. Yeah, I'm sorry. Galarian Stunfisk, I feel as though, as much as forgettable Raticate is, my argument is Stunfisk is memorable because it's a mistake.
Yeah.
That's my argument anyway. Barrett, what was your pick?
So my pick was actually Hisuian Decidueye, which...
Oh, okay.
Okay, I need to explain a little bit, because obviously Hisuian Decidueye doesn't have any outgoingly bad qualities, really. I just think that I don't have any problem with its design. I think it's got a sick move. I love the Pokemon Decidueye as well. Any love that it gets and attention it gets, I really want. I think I am a little bit disappointed in the way that this particular one turned out, and that's adding to my thoughts behind it. Because I like Decidueye so much, I think that Decidueye is an unfortunately very mid-tier Pokemon, isn't it? I love ghost types. Everyone who knows me knows I really love my ghost type Pokemon. Having a starter Pokemon that becomes a ghost type was really, really cool. Grass types are also really cool. I'm actually quite a big fan of grass types, low-key. I think they're really, really good. So having a Pokemon like that, with those typings, it's a starter Pokemon, you get a chance to get really attached to it, and then it's just like the most mid starter ever, and it's like in the same generation as Incineroar. It just made me a little bit upset. So when I got some love, I was thinking, fantastic, they could make it into a sick Pokemon, yeah, like a really good starter Pokemon. Like they'll bring it in and it'll be like, it could be super impactful, and it is just, again, so mid that it makes me so angry that I actually think it is the worst, because it's the biggest perpetrator of remaining mid. Like Raticate was a good example, right? Raticate, they did dirty because they could have made Raticate a sick Pokemon. They could have made the Alolan Raticate version sick, but they didn't do it. If they had made Decidueye a good Pokemon with this transformation, that'd have been great, but they didn't. It's just exactly as good as all the other Hisuian Pokemon are. They didn't think about making it good for competitive Pokemon. They just wanted to make it, I suppose, as good as all the other starters of Hisui is, and it probably is. I don't know.
Okay, so before we go into supporting argument here by going through Decidueye's page, I'm just going to say, Barrett, I think you're very alone in this boat.
Yeah. I understand.
Chat is not accepting you right now on this opinion. Kai immediately shouted, "Explain." Your conscience is saying you should be kicked out of the Hidden Leaf Village.
Yellow Eyes literally turned up to be like, how dare you?
Your conscience also mentioned that apparently your take is such a Sand Village opinion.
I'm not quite sure.
Yellow Eyes was also saying it's a bad take. The legends are so much worse than this one in the game.
The thing is, the legendary new forms introduced in that are not regional forms. They're just transformations. So
they are a little weird though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I would not have thought Palkia turned into like a sort of 4-horse-legged. I can't think of the word now. Centurion? Is that the one? No.
Yeah.
Is that the mythical creature where it's like half man, half horse?
You mean a chimera? No. You're thinking of a centaur.
Centaurs. Thank you.
Yeah, centaur.
Like I never thought Palkia would be that. I didn't think Palkia in all of its like time and space such is thinking, do you know what? I kind of like the idea of having horse legs. Meanwhile, Dialga's got like some sort of pog thing stuck in his throat.
yeah. That looked very jarring and weird. And also, they don't have arms anymore.
No.
But centaurs do have arms. They're like six. They're technically insects.
Yeah. I mean, I remember we live streamed it on my channel where we got to the bit where the original forms came out. And I think me and all of chat was like, what on earth is going on here? We were all very confused. I think we had to like... Thankfully, when you battle it, like, obviously no moves actually take place yet, but we literally sat there for a good 5 minutes just staring at this Palkia with its new 4 horse legs, just being, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
I think your conscience got a good point about the old legends needing a glow up. We talked about this recently as well, like, especially if you're in the tier list last week. Like,
yes.
Pokemon like Mewtwo and Necrozma. I was like, is Necrozma even in the game? Like, I didn't even know.
No,
like,
we completely forgot.
Yeah, I know that obviously the Dawnwings versions are in the game, but I was thinking to myself, like, knowing that Dawnwings and Duskmane are in the game, and then really genuinely considering whether or not base Necrozma was in the game, even though that doesn't make any sense for those other ones to be, really goes to show how awful that Pokemon is. Like,
I'm just going to say...
I assume there was an exception.
I'm just going to say Shadow Lugia.
Exactly.
That would have been cool.
I feel like they're doing it in a weird way, though. Like, they're going like, oh, Palkia and Dialga are nowhere near as good as they used to be, so we'll give them this new form that kind of fixes their stats a little bit. Except for it's bad because it takes up their item slot. Why don't they just change their stats? That's all they need to do. Just be like, guys, there was a balancing patch, and now Palkia and Dialga have got, like, not ridiculous useless stats anymore.
Yeah, I think the argument as well, isn't it, is I think from what I remember in the past, people were saying like, well, now Groudon and Kyogre got given origin forms as well as Rayquaza getting or Rayquaza, whatever you want to say, getting its mega form. Now every other legendary needs a bit of love, like, to make up for it. Like,
they don't. I would argue that some do, like the old ones, but not all of them.
No,
like,
I mean, that's what people are saying, though. People are saying, like, everyone needs to get the same treatment. It's like, absolutely not. Like,
the scary thing is they're actually almost like they're saying, we hear what you guys are saying. We want the legendary Pokemon to be, like, altered a little bit. If some are getting loved, then they shouldn't. So next up on the block, Xerneas. Yeah. And they were like, no,
Yeah.
no, that's not what we meant.
Yeah, honestly, I think Yellow's right. The next Legends game, we're going to see Xerneas and Yveltal
Xerneas.
getting something. Zygarde will get another form. I don't know what it's going to be called. 150%? 200%?
The only thing that they actually do is they put
Super Saiyan
Zygarde
3.
in the game as exactly how it is, except for now Commander works on it.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
We'll see what happens, obviously.
If that happens, I'd say you can't do the transformation, right? So you get a choice, right? You either go Commander mode, and you get the double stats in everything. But maybe, right? Balancing, it's not Commander. It's just a different ability that absorbs Xerneas or Yveltal.
I was going to say, I think that would be a little bit weird seeing a Yveltal climb into a Dondozo's mouth.
Well, no. It would be Tatsugiri. Well, my original idea was Tatsugiri jumps into Zygarde's mouth. like Snake Zygarde. Think about it. It's like almost exactly the same. He just opens up and he jumps in his mouth.
Just,
and then,
see a little Tatsugiri like stick its head out.
But instead, I imagine that what could be the case is that in the double restricted format, you could run like Zygarde and Xerneas or Zygarde and Yveltal, and it will turn into like Zygarde Y or Zygarde X as like a special ability kind of thing.
I mean, Kai's just made a really good point that base Zygarde at 100%, well, Zygarde at 100% still gets annihilated by base Xerneas. So
Aura Break actually.
Oh, Aura Break actually does break the fairy aura, actually. Yeah, I forgot about that. But Bacon Boy all day. But yes, unfortunately, I'd love to talk more about this, but we do need to continue onwards. So Decidueye's ability actually is decent in the fact that it's got Scrappy, allowing it to hit ghost types. I want to remember its move pools are decent. Its signature move isn't great, if I remember correctly.
No, its signature move is really good. Triple Arrows is a great move. It's at the top.
It wasn't very good in it wasn't very good in Legends. But
it's great here.
It's great here. What was the stats on this as well? Because I want to say it's actually quite sluggish.
It's just mid. That's the problem.
60 speed, 112 attack ain't bad, but you were 4 times weak to flying.
Yeah.
Which, is quite interesting. I don't think chat agrees with you 100%, though, Barrett. I'm really sorry. I think you're alone on this one. I don't think I could agree with you either.
That's fair. That's fair.
I understand why. Don't get me wrong, but like
95 special attack. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing with those stats? This is the modern day,
bro.
Fluttermators.
Where you going?
Do you know what I mean? Like what are you doing? What are you doing with 95 special attack and 12 attack? This Pokemon was made recently. This looks like a Pokemon that was made in 2003. Earlier.
Oh, mate. Right, so now we're going to go through the responses. We've already seen Kai's, actually. So we actually only have one to go through in responses, which is Adam, aka Rising Raichu, who did come on last time to speak about Corviknight not being a world champion yet. Their choice. I thought this was interesting, honestly, because I kind of felt as though this was a little harsh. But that might be me personally. And while I bring this up, I'm wondering if people know who I'm talking about. They picked Galarian Weezing as their choice of worst regional
that's interesting
Pokemon. And I thought this came completely out of field. I was not expecting this. Obviously, with the form. This one, Raichu mentioned here that Galarian Weezing actually doesn't do much differently from the main gimmick of regular Weezing, because both of them gets neutralizing gas, other than having a fairy type move, and obviously having a fairy typing, and doesn't fit as much in the overall environmental message of Sword and Shield. Which I thought it did. I thought the whole point of Weezing was that it eats bad air and pumps out clear air.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a result of the Industrial Revolution or something. So it's like, it doesn't really understand why it's a fairy type.
I think it's because, like, obviously fairy types were introduced in Gen 6. We need to cover as many fairy types as possible as quickly as possible. I mean, you saw the Tapus in Gen 7, for instance. It's like, they're all part fairy. Doesn't look it, but they're all part fairy.
They're magical beings.
They're magical beings.
Guardian destiny.
That sounds like the beginning of like an old 80s cartoon show. Just like, watch the Tapus, magical beans. And just like...
Tapus.
I would watch that, just saying.
I would watch that. Yeah, I would watch. But sounds like somebody...
Yeah, Galarian Weezing, I kind of do, in a way, understand his point. Because, like, other than the fact that it's part fairy, does it really do anything that Wheezing doesn't do? The only thing I can think of is obviously its signature move being Strange Stream, if I remember.
Strange. Strange. This is a strange stream.
This is a strange stream.
I say it every time. Strange steam. Steam. Yeah. Which can confuse the target. I think it's just like a very
90 base attack, 95 accuracy, confusing target potential. That was called the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, the Tapus was actually the concept idea for Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
Like, I do kind of understand where he's coming from. Like, I feel as though, because obviously it still had Misty Surge as well, which back at the beginning of Sword and Shield, Misty Surge was all right. Obviously, Tapu Fini is a better Misty Surge, Misty Terrain Pokemon. I don't think anyone could question that, if I'm honest with you. Like, Galarian base Weezing, yeah. And actually, sorry. Yeah, because Galarian Weezing actually has more weaknesses than base Weezing. Because, of course, base Weezing is only weak to Ground and Psychic, which it can easily deal with it. It can easily fix that. Whereas Galarian Weezing has quite a few more weaknesses from what I remember. I think it's even weak to itself. Is it not? Is it still weak to poison?
Poison, I think, is neutral.
Oh, neutral. Sorry. Neutral damage from that. But it's weak to Psychic. It's weak to Ground. It's weak to Steel. So it loses it, and Steel is so prominent as well. Steel typing is very prominent in BGC at the moment because of just how great it is defensively.
I think Galarian Weezing acts more as if you need the type diversity. Like, having a pure poison type in your team is not very good because you've got too many weaknesses to Ground and Psychic, and you just feel like, let's say, for example, you just need to switch into.
Yeah.
You haven't got a dragon. You just need a fairy on a team because you just really feel like I want to switch into a dragon move. It fulfills that one small niche. I think it probably did a little bit better in a closed team sheet situation because it could get Misty Surge or Levitate, which would make it immune to ground moves. So it could switch in on a ground move unexpectedly as well. If you think they've got Galarian Weezing in the back, but it's mostly, if you think it's going to be neutralizing gas to get rid of my abilities, and then they switch it in, you waste like a Max Quake back in the day. That would have been really, really valuable.
Yes.
Levitate was a really, really good ability just because Max Quake was such a good move. But now it's like not really that big of a deal, and we're open team sheet. So Galarian Weezing did kind of fall off a little bit. Hard. I wouldn't say it was the worst, but
no, it's definitely not the worst. But I definitely think, like your conscious has mentioned in the chat, Cantonian version just outshines it completely. I think while Galarian Weezing is a fantastic concept, overall a great Pokemon, like I do like Galarian Weezing. Yeah, Cantonian Weezing just does its job but better, like in all aspects of the word. And neutralizing gas in itself is a great ability. If neutralizing gas didn't exist, then yes, I think Galarian Weezing potentially, could shine a bit better. Like they've mentioned in the chat as well, like, Fini and Coco are the best terrain setters going, like out of the, Misty and Electric terrain, like, which is kind of surprising in a non-format where you're not using the Tapus. There isn't actually a lot of choice.
Terrapagos kind of invalidates terrain quite a lot.
Oh, it does now, yeah.
Having an anti-terrain setter isn't as much of a big deal now. It was at one point, but it's weird that people just don't seem to really want to shoehorn it onto the team at the moment.
It is quite weird, though, to think that actually there is, like, obviously fairy types were introduced to try and balance the game out and not make dragon types stronger. But then you see Pokemon like Weezing, and it's like, this should never have been given a fairy type.
No, it should have been like Steel Poison. Like, it looks like a Steel Poison type,
well, yeah,
and it would make way more sense. And also, a Steel Poison type with Levitate would have a really, really cool niche in like the singles meta because you could switch in on spikes and get rid of toxic spikes with your poison typing, and you'd be immune to stuff because of the steel typing. It would have been I reckon it could have been cool. And it's good. Steel Poison, I think, is relatively good.
And plus, like, I mean, look at this. Like, the base form could still get stuff like Haze. Obviously, it could still get loads of coverage moves like Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Heat Wave, quite Dark Pulse even. It still benefits from all of that.
It would have been interesting. I don't know why it didn't get the treatment that a lot of the other regional forms got, where they split them a little bit more down the middle, so they didn't have the same exact role, but just with different typings. I think it's much better when they give regional forms a different ability to what the original ones had, unless for some reason it specifically is like if they've made a regional Pokemon of a that has like Intimidate.
Yeah.
It might still be cool to just keep Intimidate, but change the typing to give Intimidate a new typing, basically,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Intimidate's so good. With other Pokemon, you kind of want, like, there's a Alolan Raichu for Surge Surfer, which isn't very good. It would be better if it just set to rain. And then Volt Absorb Raichu, regular Raichu.
Yeah, I would also just like to point out as well, like with most of the other regional forms, they actually messed around with the stats a little bit. They absolutely did not do anything for Wheezing, which, to be honest, with Galarian Wheezing, I would have liked to have seen a bit more of like a sweeper. Can you imagine just like the chimney Pokemon going in a bit of overdrive? You know, base 100 speed Wheezing, just Galarian just puffing the smoke out repeatedly quite quickly. You know, he's like a chimney, but also a mini Thomas the Tank Engine. Like, he's just...
I mean, it'd be cool if they'd have given it some kind of ability. Maybe if they'd have gone like the super slow min-maxed route, where it was quite bulky and very strong, and you know, that'd be really quite interesting. But I like your idea of it being like, once it gets going, or just give it a unique ability that's
motor drive. Give it a motor drive type ability.
Yeah, where its speed goes up in certain situations, because it's like starting to get. I suppose that we're just talking
the
about.
Fat Controller is not pleased.
What was this is effectively Steam Engine, isn't it? We're talking about Steam. Yeah. They already did that last generation as well, so
could have
maybe
increased
that's why
invasion. Don't you dare say that again.
No. It's just like zipping around. Oh god, that'd be disgusting.
Dear.
Then they ban it in singles and it wouldn't be used at all. So
no. So obviously, yeah, like Galarian Wheezing is as it is. Very much what we I think that's an interest. I think all of these have been good picks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think they've all been good picks. I think it's just, I don't know, we need to see I don't know, is there anyone sorry, I forgot to mention the Twitter pair that I was talking about. We'll talk about the Twitter pair quick. Luminary, unfortunately, both of our Twitter mentions didn't say why these Pokemon are particularly bad, but Luminary says Galarian Meowth and Berserker as the worst regional forms. I can't agree with that. I love Berserker. I think Berserker's just a cool little guy.
I think it's cool.
I love Berserker a lot. Yes, it's not great stats, but its ability is quite a crazy. Steely Spirit. Oh my god, Zacian one-shotting like a Dynamax Kyogre with Steely Spirit is kind of, I've seen that live. It's crazy. And a Thunderous, actually. Meanwhile, Lynx mentioned Galarian Sliggoo. Sorry, Hisuian Sliggoo. Sorry, not Galarian. Which I don't know if they meant Hisuian Goodra.
What's wrong with Sliggoo?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they didn't mention why, so I can't speak for them.
I must see why.
I must.
I am displeased with the hate. Where is...
I am not happy. Yeah, he's just a little guy in his little shell. Also, like, Hisuian Goodra is ridiculous. Hisuian Goodra's so good. I actually, in all seriousness, I do feel like if Hisuian Goodra came around sooner, it could have been a world champion. I think it can be a world champion.
Yeah, definitely. Captain Oro reps the Hoodra, as they call it.
Oh, yes. Captain Oro and Hoodra. Also, can we just talk about its stats as well? Hisuian Goodra's stats. 60 speed, but like 150 special defense, 100 defense, 110 special attack, 100 attack, 80 like HP. Like, obviously 600 base total. But it's also got the ability to like not get crit, basically.
That's like Registeel's.
It's a dragon, like half dragon Registeel.
Registeel, yeah.
Like, it's so good. Oh, sorry, I've just seen what your conscious was saying. Have you seen the guy who always runs Berserker in every regulation? Yeah. Berserker and Goldengo dies. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. Yeah, I kind of have to agree with Kai though. Like, Sliggoo and Goodra are great. I don't know why they're necessarily. I'm not agreeing with this. I'm
looking at Hisuian Sliggoo right now. And I've got to say, I think it's really cute, but I can imagine someone thinking that that's a creepy little guy.
Well, he's just chilling in his little shell, isn't he?
It's just not... I don't know how I feel. Your one looks different to the one on my screen as well, so that's even creepier. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not going to add that. I don't think that's a... yeah, I'm sorry. I don't agree with it. I think Hisuian, Sliggoo, and Goodra are fine. Berserker as well. Berserker's fine, honestly. So I think the choices for worst regional form is very much between Stunfisk, Wheezing, Decidueye, and Alolan Raticate. However, I've got a feeling Decidueye will finish dead last.
Hey, I'm fine with that. If people like it, I'm happy for them. I would love to join.
I'm good. I'm happy for you. I really am. As Barrett's crying in the rain.
I've played a lot of random double battles, okay? And Decidueye, both forms of Decidueye come up quite a lot. And I'm like, come on, it's my boy. And then it doesn't do anything. And it's just sad, okay? It's just sad.
It's just sad.
It's
But,
sad.
right. We are running out of time, so we're going to have to
Yes.
quickly sprint through a little bit here. But I believe it's now time for Barrett to talk about his Pokemon of the week. What is this week's Pokemon of the week?
Well, guys, today the Pokemon of the week is Tyranitar. I know. You guys probably thought it was going to be regular Decidueye, but it's not. It's Tyranitar. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. Love this guy. Tyranitar is the Rock and Dark type pseudo-legendary Pokemon from Gen 2. Tyranitar became a world champion in 2012, being piloted by Ray Rizzo. Tyranitar has been popular in VGC since the beginning, acting as a strong offensive Dark and Rock type with access to very good coverage moves to round out a team. With 100 HP, special defense, and 110 defense. Tyranitar is a good example of a bulky Pokemon with stat distributions done right, with a great ability in Sandstream to round it out its okay bulk with the special defense increase that comes with rock types in the sand. Not only can Tyranitar use its sand static abilities to support other members of its team, it's also been used as a way of overwriting your opponent's weather in order to disrupt their strategies. Some of Tyranitar's most popular partners could be Excadrill and Cresselia, but more recently have been joining Pokemon like Lycanroc and Farigiraf for more reliable speed control. We did see at the beginning of the stream, been seeing Tyranitar being used as a counter for Calyrex Shadow Rider. It's also a counter for Calyrex Ice Rider as well. It's just got fantastic usage across the board. Stats to keep it timeless. There we go, guys. Tyranitar is our Pokemon of the week. Can we give it up for Tyranitar?
Thank you, Tyranitar.
And look at that. Look at that.
Look, honestly, it's a cutie. I think I might need to purchase it. I'm not going to lie. For only $9.99. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like, Tyranitar, honestly, is a little surprising, isn't it? That Tyranitar actually is only a one-time champ. I think it's had numerous opportunities, though, to become different champions, but...
It's Tyranitar is one of those Pokemon where it is a bit time. It is still really good Pokemon, but, like, it's a really solid B tier that keeps coming back. Like Umbreon. A lot of Gen 2 Pokemon are like that. They're just, like, really good, but not quite good enough to be, like, great. But they you throw them on a team and they'll do pretty good sometimes. Like,
right.
You know. Yeah. Right.
So we have a couple of replays for you tonight before we end the stream. And a couple of doozies, actually, by the sounds of it. So we got one from Toopkey, who is our first battle. They have commented to say they are particularly proud of turn 4. They're hyped up, not the match, they've hyped up turn 4. So I'll be interested to see what turn 4 actually ends up playing like. The second battle from KD's best of 3, from that one for us, as we are trying to keep it under, well, easier for Barrett to edit, basically.
Thank you.
Down the line.
Thank you for everyone for understanding.
I think we just go straight into this. I actually don't know which one is Toopkey. Probably should have asked him. I'm trying to figure out what the actual name of that trainer is. In need of new widers. Interesting name. An inverted F.
Okay.
So.
Oh, in need of new ideas.
Oh, ideas. Oh,
yes.
Okay. In need of new ideas. Okay, that
makes sense. That is Wolf 15, I think. So. Yeah,
so obviously you can see the Calyrex Shadow Rider, Rillaboom, Incin, Clefairy, Urshifu, and Torn on the side closest to us. On the opposite, I love Iron Bundle. I'm still waiting for the plush of it to come out. Hisuian Zoroark, Galarian Moltres. I was about to say Articuno, Amoonguss, and Chen Pao. Like you just mentioned, Barrett, though, versus, well, actually quite an interesting concept of Zacian with the bundle, Amoonguss supporting Galarian Moltres, but also having a little trickery there with Hisuian Zoroark.
Unfortunately, I do every now and then well, what is it? You know,
who are you?
You start the game and you go, which one is the Zoroark, and you just neutral hit both of them and find out what it is, and then the game's up. Basically, it's just like it doesn't really do anything other than that, except for because you just know it's there. If there was no team preview, it'd be great, wouldn't it? But you know that it's on the team, so you don't fake out turn 1. That's what it does, doesn't it? It just stops fake out turn 1. Not that that's particularly useful, but like, yeah, whatever.
Great shiny though, amazing shiny, I should say.
Yes.
Right, so I've just realised I need to put this down as really slow or slow. And we'll just see how it goes from here. As you can see, both of them were very, very keen on how they were starting this match off. So, in need of new ideas, sends out Clefairy, and it will be partnering up with an Urshifu Rapid Strike, which is quite an interesting lead. And then on the other side, we've got the Iron Bundle, or as I call him, Mecha Chicken, with Galarian Moltres. So, Mecha Chicken's Quark Drive kicks in, so it's got the booster energy, speed was heightened, and then we'll just see what turn 1 happens and go from there. So Urshifu terrestrializes into the water type. Clefairy goes for a follow me though, to try and distract it. Moltres, what is Moltres and Iron Bundle going to do here? I think Bundle was quicker, went for the Hydro Pump into Clefairy. Moltres goes, oh no, Urshifu is quicker than the Moltres, of course. So Moltres goes down. Moltres is a 1-hit KO here.
That is incredible. Is it really Moltres? It is really Moltres.
It was
oh
actually
no.
Moltres.
I didn't think it would go down that easily.
I didn't think that either. So Zacian now comes in as well to support Iron Bundle. Oh, okay, right. I'm going to pause it quick just so we could just digest turn 1 quite quickly. Yeah, Moltres went down like a bag of sand, didn't it?
It didn't do anything.
Didn't get to do anything. I was expecting an Icy Wind and then letting Moltres
Air Slash, maybe?
Air Slash or Fiery Wrath, something.
Or Protect.
Or Protect.
They couldn't Protect, really, but you wouldn't expect the K. It didn't even have a berry. Do you know what I mean? Like,
No.
normally, at least it would recover the Berserk range, but it didn't even proc Berserk. It just went down.
Yeah, not a great turn for inverted F there, unfortunately. Let's see what happens then as we continue this. So we saw Clefairy with the Follow Me kick in. There's the Icy Wind coming out now for the Urshifu from the Iron Bundle into Urshifu and Clefairy. So obviously the speed drop. Zacian then goes for a Taunt onto the Clefairy. I think we know what's happened here. And Surging Strikes goes into the Zacian. It's of course a Zoroark. We spot. This is a game of Where's Wally, isn't it?
Womp womp.
There's the Zoroark. But yes, so obviously now we know that sitting in the back is a Zacian. We should have actually figured that out because obviously the
no Intrepid
Sword. There was no Intrepid Sword beforehand, so yeah.
I definitely should have known that. I'm actually really disappointed myself because
I'm disappointed.
As a person who plays a lot of random double battles, there will be times when I'll begin a game and I'll look at the board state and go, by the way, there's no team preview in it, and I'll go,
hang on,
that isn't that Pokemon. That's a Zoroark, and I'll know it's a Zoroark because of something like it's pretending to be Squawkabilly and Intimidate didn't go off. And I know for a fact that there's only Intimidate, Squawkabilly in random double battles. So I was like, aha! Or it would be like that they didn't activate Defiant.
Yeah. No, I've done that so many times as well where I'm like, oh wait, you're the Zoroark.
Yeah.
I think I clicked Snarl once just expecting like, oh well, I'm just gonna hit something. And then yeah, it was Zoroark and I was like, oh
even better.
I was like, oh my god. But anyway, let's see what happens turn 3. Rillaboom switches in from the Clefairy, so the grassy terrain is up now to help recover HP for the Urshifu. Freeze Strike comes out, takes out Urshifu though. See you later, Urshifu. Freeze Strike managed to pick the KO. And Zacian then goes for a Behemoth Blade. Does a lot of damage, though. Does a lot of damage. Rillaboom obviously stays alive, but that doesn't appreciate that Behemoth Blade.
Rillaboom with quite a lot of defense, really, normally. But I suppose that is an unintimidated, full-power Zacian. That's like the Zacian that it wants to be, which is a very dangerous situation. Also,
I just want to point out as well, the Calyrex is the last Pokemon, so there is no Zacian. Sorry, no Incineroar. Incineroar is not going to be supporting this team and dealing with that Zacian. So this is going to be interesting. Obviously, Iron Bundle is like the quickest, but Rillaboom still has access to the Grassy Glide. So can Iron Bundle survive a potential Grassy Glide? Gotta remember though, everyone, we haven't seen the Terra yet. No one has Terra'd their Pokemon. So it's all still to play for. It'll be interesting to see what happens now in turn 4. This is the legendary turn 4, apparently. So we're going to see what happens here. Rillaboom comes out, Clefairy comes back in.
Cool, for the Friend Guard.
Friend Guard comes out. Bundle protects. Zacian, what is Zacian going to do here? Zacian also protects. Oh, a double protection. Calyrex is going for the nasty plot. Nasty plot Calyrex Shadow Rider has just kicked in. So now this is a very bulky... Oh, here comes Terra Ice Iron Bundle now. I wonder what's going to happen here. Follow me from the Clefairy. Oh, of course, the Icy Wind. Oh, it misses the Calyrex. Oh, that's massive. Zacian, Astral Barrage, So, oh my god, Zacian lives on 3. Oh my lord.
Close.
So obviously the Grim Neigh comes out. Behemoth Blade then takes out the Clefairy. So we've basically got Rillaboom, Calyrex versus the Zacian.
And the fake out pressure is about to come in.
Calyrex is faster. Calyrex is now +3 and inverted air forfeited. Wow. Yeah, the double protect was the killer, wasn't it?
I just got that was
well scouted,
I kind of forgot they had Clefairy in the back, but if they had terrored their Iron Bundle there to take a Grassy Glide and then hit the Icy Wind, they would have won the game. But they didn't do that. They just thought better do they were the faster one as well. The Terra Icy Wind seems like a weird
It's a-
idea as well.
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. I feel like if you're going to do that, you might as well just try and hit it with a blizzard.
Yeah, they didn't want to hit the hydro pump. They didn't want to risk the hydro pump miss because they did do the damage. They would have taken it out and then they would have hit the Calyrex next turn. They still probably would have lost.
Yeah.
They would. What terror would they have? Because I don't think that Iron Bundle can actually terror out of getting one hit KO by Astral Brush, unless it's got like serious bulk investment.
I tell you where they lost.
No special investment.
I tell you where they lost when Galarian Moltres went down.
They needed that.
They needed Moltres so badly. Even Hisuian Zoroark would have done great there. Not protecting your actual win conditions is the reason why you lose most of the time. If you lose your win cons, then there is no way of getting out of it. And we witnessed there, right? Zacian, there was so much pressure on Zacian to actually clean up, and it couldn't because all of its support was Iron Bundle. Like, there you go. So it had Hydro Pump, Icy Wind, Freeze Dry, and Protect, which it didn't work. It did not work.
If he'd gone for the Terrorized Freeze Dry, at least that might have picked up the.
That could have picked up the KO on the Clefairy.
They would have got the sashed on the Calyrex.
Yeah. There was potential to still live that, but again, like, you have two Pokemon that could deal with Calyrex, and you didn't protect them at all. You let them go down so quickly and easily to the Urshifu. Like, Zacian could have probably dealt with the Urshifu quite nicely, and the Iron Bundle. Like, we saw Iron Bundle pretty much nearly OHKO it. Yeah, no, it's disappointing for them, but obviously really well played by In Need of New Ideas. Seeing that double protect situation and just going for that nasty plot to basically clean up with the Calyrex, because as soon as that happened, you knew the pressure was there, and it was going to be very difficult for them to get out of it. So yeah, well done to them. Second match is from KD. So this was from a best of 3 match that took place during a league, I believe. TAFNN and then TXP KD. So I believe this is like draft league or like a league. I think this is the same team as we saw last night on the stream. The Kyogre, Archaladon, Serena, Tornadus, Chenpao, and Urshifu, which obviously when we watched it last night was a great best of 3 with Dread Mumbo. So I'm fully expecting this Kyogre to still be the Terra Grass that we saw, Terra Fairy, Serena. KD's definitely got a very standard rain team there, but it's just interesting to see the Serena in that rain team.
The Serena, adds a lot of interesting layers to it.
Henk is the opponent, and they've got Koraidon, Chi-Yu, Brute Bonnet, Raging Bolt, Fluttermane, and Torn. Brute Bonnet represent. Like,
yes, let's go.
Great, I love this because this is sun versus rain.
I know this is such a great pick for KD to show us, actually, because we got to see his team against Calyrex last night, and we were talking and we were saying, it wasn't, even though you'd think Kyogre into Calyrex Ice would be a really great matchup, but it actually really wasn't. It was actually very, very one-sided to the Calyrex Ice, which was surprising. Whereas this looks like it's going to be a lot more of our classic Weather War type deal. So I'm
I should apologise. KD did just mention there should be 2 games. There is indeed, KD. Unfortunately, we only have time for the 1, so I just picked game 2 randomly. So I hope you understand. We could show next week game 1. I'm going to be interested to see what happens here. So, opening leads. We've got Fluttermane and Raging Bolt versus Dumb.
Oh no, no.
And Kung Fu Panda 4.
Not again.
So, first turn, Kung Fu Panda 4 goes for Terra Grass. Raging Bolt goes for Terra Fairy. Protect comes out for the Fluttermane. Raging Bolt went for the Thunderclap, obviously resisted because of Grass. And Surging Strikes breaks through Fluttermane. Absolutely, thank you very much. Picks up the KO. Probably didn't help that Dumb was on the field, who hasn't even, done anything yet in this turn. Chad Pow. I still love these names, KD. I really do. Just Dumb the Chen Pao. Like, we haven't even seen what Chen Pao's gonna do here. I'm predicting like an ice spinner maybe onto the Raging Bolt, but like, I don't know. Your thought on like swords the ruin Pokemon can be with their drops and Dumb basically helping Kung Fu Panda just break through like that. Like 62% damage in his first hit.
That's just ridiculous damage, and it's like there's no buff here. It's got the Mystic Water, I remember, which is pretty. Obviously, it's going to increase the damage there. I'm quite confused at why Henk just stayed in with the Fluttermane. I can understand the wanting to Terra Fairy to eat the Ice Spinner, yeah. So why then stay in with the Fluttermane? Because you know the target's going to be the Urshifu. So the Terra, maybe because they were confident that they weren't going to Terra Grass there, but
Maybe.
Again, Terra Grass, interesting adaptation for this team, makes a lot of sense.
Ah, there you go. Ice Spinner came out from Chen Pao to complete the first turn. And now in comes Brute Bonnet, our best friend, our friend, Brute
Amazing.
Bonnet. I have a bad feeling about this, though. Brute Bonnet, please don't die quickly. That's all I ask from you, buddy. I love you, Brute Bonnet.
It's going to take I think it might take an Ice Spinner here. It might not be very good.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this at all. It's got Citrus Berry, though, which is nice. But yeah, I think, oh no. Yeah, I couldn't see this coming. I mean, this is Urshifu's Choice Scarf, Barrett.
Yeah.
It's not Mystic Water, this one.
Oh, okay, interesting. That does make sense, because the turn went first as well. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so
I must have been thinking of a different team yesterday, but yeah.
I think Katie might have tweaked it a little bit. But basically, yeah, Brute Bonnet has come in. Obviously, the Fluttermane was kapoop. Dumb as I love the fact it's called dumb, because it literally just looks at you as if it's like, wide-eyed, the world is a beautiful place.
It's just there.
He's like, I'm here, I'm having
Gorping.
fun. So turn 2, Rage Powder comes out from the Brute Bonnet. That Surging Strikes is going to come in, do quite a bit of chip damage, actually, I'm not going to lie. Look at that. Already a third elf gone. Citrus Berry did not activate as well. And yeah, the Ice Spinner does pick up the KO. So Raging Bolt now goes for the Draco Meteor, does KO Kung Fu Panda 4. So goodbye to the Kung Fu Panda franchise for now. Whale o'clock time, though, everyone. Versus Freak Vonk Senior. I have no idea what that means. But because, this is also another interesting thing. Because the speed ties, when the speed ties kick in, it also determines the weather and the terrain on who goes first and who goes second.
Yeah.
So because Koraidon is quicker than Kyogre, Koraidon's sun came out, but Kyogre's rain came out second.
Immediately takes it over. And I find it interesting as well. This is like a bit of an argument for Groudon still, isn't it? Because Groudon is generally ran quite slow. So if you want your sun going up afterwards...
Sorry, my other half was asking me why was I talking about Pokemon. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Why do you have a podcast? No.
BGC?
BGC?
What?
Anyway, so yes, like you mentioned, it's very interesting to see these weapon wars. Right, let's see what happens here. It's turn 3. Protect comes out for the Koraidon. He knows there's a situation here occurring. Well O'Clock also protects. Thunderclap into Chen Pao, and the Ice Spinner came out there. So really, quite a good protect there from Hank to protect there. Predicting Chen Pao might go after it, trying to get a bit of chip damage off. This is Assault Vest as well on the Raging Bolt. But you also remember it has hit Draco Meteor, so it is -2, which is why it didn't actually do as much damage as probably most people would have predicted, considering Chen Pao is quite the frail type. But getting that chip damage, then allowing it to, it can't be brought to Sash now, which is...
Hey, speaking of Sash, what is the item on that Koraidon? Is that Sash as well?
It's Clear Amulet.
Clear Amulet. Okay, cool. So it's not going to win the speed tie against... Well, it will have to try to win the speed tie against the Chen Pao, if possible. But, it could probably take the double up, I would assume. But the Protect here is really great because it does chip that Focus Sash, so it will go down. So it's a compromising situation for KD. The Protect means that they might have to do a double switch here if they don't want to lose a Pokemon. So yeah.
Yeah, you've got to also remember as well, for Hank, this is his final 2 Pokemon. So unfortunately, Raging Bolt is going to be more of a support now, rather than actually doing the amount of damage that we have seen it do previously, which, puts a lot of pressure on this Koraidon now.
In the
rain to sweep. The pressure's on, basically. Turn 4, look at that for damage. Ice Spinner, nearly Oko's it. Collision Course comes out, does take out Dumb, but this now allows Kyogre to then come in and basically get the double pick KO. KD wins this one quite comfortably, I should say. Taking that, obviously, GG's all round.
GG's.
But the amount of damage Dumb did with that Ice Spinner into Koraidon, disgusting amount.
I always feel like fighting types should resist ice. I don't know why. They probably should. It just seems like they should. I don't think it should for balancing purposes. But I always think to myself, Wait, is Ice Spirit neutral against Koraidon because it's a fighting type? Like, no, it's not. It's still super effective.
No, it's weird like that, isn't it? I think, there's definitely some types that should be resisting others, and there's definitely some types that shouldn't be resisting others. Yeah, especially with Koraidon's case, still being weak to ice is quite telling, which obviously is why you see a lot of them terrestrialize it to like fire. Obviously, you still take advantage of the sun, that, and you can spam flare blitzes. We never actually got to see what the last Pokemon was for KD, but considering I wouldn't be surprised if it was Serena or the Archaladon. I wouldn't be surprised what that fourth one would have been. Great battle though. Thank you, KD, for that. That was great fun. We'll probably show off your first one next week as well. I think now we just have a little bit of a quick tidy up talk before we sign off for the evening. Obviously, we are still pushing for affiliate, and thank you all very much for sticking with us tonight and helping us, be over that 3 viewers or more. We are still on course of being affiliates literally on our anniversary, which is the 11th of May. So if we do that, I'm pretty sure we could find something to do to as a thank you for all of you. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I am looking into Switch stuff for next week's viewer battles if we have them. Really thrilled to see the people who competed last night say they would love to do another one, which is great because we had great fun watching you guys battle. We are hoping, though, we could get a couple more battles in next week as well.
Yeah.
Which would be great. And obviously, we'll probably put some breaks in between so me and Barrett can have a drink and clear our throats so we don't sound like shrinkled up men by the end of it.
I think we did really well.
We did really well. It was really good fun. It was great banter for everyone. Next week is more of a general discussion show next week, but if anyone has anything they want to talk about, please let us know. We're more than happy to discuss it. But I think next week is more of a general show. I haven't got anything really planned for next week as it is. I think, Indies this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to have a big discussion about Indy.
We can have, let's have a discussion about Indianapolis.
And it's going to be the Reg G first.
The first ever Reg G. Oh, we're definitely going to have to go through that.
We're going to have a full episode. It's going to be a 2-day edit for sure. Let's go.
No, definitely Regulation G, first tour, first regional for Regulation G is going to be very telling. Who is going to stand out? Who is going to rise? Who's going to fall? Who is going to set the standard for this format?
We could recap the tier list, couldn't we?
Oh, we could. But yes, we'll talk about that next week. Obviously, everyone, you're more than welcome to share your opinions as well. Obviously, send us in. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter as well for regular updates on there. We do try and retweet as much stuff as possible from other places based on data for regulation stuff to help you guys out as much as us. So please feel free to look there. Obviously, follow the Discord if you're interested in joining our viewer battles or if you want to join in on future discussions. The Road to Worlds officially starts tomorrow.
Let's go.
The path has been set. We have unlocked the gates to Regulation G Worlds. This is the final route. This is the victory road to the Pokemon League in video games.
That's right.
It's actually quite crazy to think that now we've waited all year for this, and now we're on the road to Worlds. It is put up or shut up for some traders.
We'll find out.
Yeah, it's basic. I mean, think about it, right? This is the last chance for some players to get those points for Worlds, for those Worlds invites. It's scary.
It is scary.
It is so scary, and there are still so many players who are on the cusp of getting a World invite. But can they do it? Can they get it right at the end? I hope they do. I really do.
I hope so too.
The trip to Hawaii beckons these players. And who is going to emerge victorious? Not just person, but also which team, which Pokemon will become world champions by the end of August.
Will we see some new people? So we're new restricted?
Yes. Will Pokemon rise? Or will we see the returning dominance of some... It's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, that makes sense. But how pivotal was it? Will it be 80% like it was in 2022, or will it be more closer to
It'll be 94?
90, yeah.
I think it'll be more of a game of which one would be shiny and which one wouldn't.
Yeah. They're all shiny.
They're all shiny here.
They'll all be shiny.
Right. Obviously, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. Thank you, Barrett, for obviously co-hosting this again with me tonight. We always seem to have good fun together now.
Oh, it was brilliant. Thank you. It was nice and easy for me because you've taken over so much responsibility. You did So I want to say, by the way, guys, normally Alex handles the screen capture bit, and I do all the switching. This time, Alex has done 100% of everything. I did like pretty much. I just sat here and just had a really fun time. So thank you to you for
Bless
doing
you.
such a great job today.
We'll see. We'll see how this works through editing, because hopefully there won't be any like gaps in delays, basically, in talking. We'll see what happens though. Anyway, let's go raid Captain Oro. Much love to all of you. Thank you very much for all your positivity. And we will see you again next Monday. Obviously, speak to us in the chat. I will be live probably Thursday personally, but we'll talk about that later. Anyway, we're off to raid Captain Oro. Captain, oh Captain, show us the last wave of Regulation F. Much love, everyone.
Goodbye.